Welcome to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. This is JB in New Orleans.
This is Sean in Austin.
And this is Christopher in Springfield. Happy Pride Month, kids.
Yeah, happy Pride Month. Yes, I've already changed the logo on the Facebook. We've got the rainbow logo up for the whole month of June, as I always do.
I hope nobody complains, because the complainers seem to be really loud this year.
Well, I'd be surprised if we get complaints, because, I mean, we barely get any traffic.
I'm pretty sure we've scared off anybody who would be offended by Pride Month.
Yeah, it just seems...
If they listened to the last podcast, they would certainly have been, scared off.
But I'm talking about things like the Target fiasco, the drag queen thing.
Okay, that's funny, because when you said the Target fiasco, my mind instantly went to like the Target novelizations. Like, what the fuck happened?
We're already off on a bunny trail. I'm sorry.
Can you briefly explain the Target fiasco? Because I somehow have been out of the loop on that. I don't know what's going on with Target.
Yeah, Chris is on the midnight shift now, so he's like completely
right.
clueless about everything right now.
Yeah, I'm barely a member of this universe at this point.
Well, Target released, I know there was clothing. There may have been things like mugs and stuff, but they put up like a Pride section. I think all of their stores. Yeah.
Oh, that's woke, man. That's woke.
And so people's heads just exploded. And I've read some of the vitriol because I belong to a group where, they share stuff like that. And Target capitulated and they took that stuff down with with the exception of a few stores who held out.
Because there was actually some customers that actually got really kind of aggressive to like the Target store employees.
Yeah.
And so they basically they did that to sort of protect the employees, which I can kind of understand, but it does suck that they have to. It does suck that they had to okay, we got to back this out. What I find funny now is that apparently Chick-fil-A has released a statement about being open to diversity now, which is it's like a Kobayashi Maru now to all the fucking Trumpers.
They hired a DEI, diversity. What is it? Diversity, equality, and inclusion vice president. And yeah, now all of a sudden Chick-fil-A's woke and Meal Team 6 is after them.
It's like, why? You're wasting your energy on the wrong thing. Why don't you?
They're robots. They're basically they're basically programmable drones at this point.
Me and the wife were talking about this the other day because she just had to go through like DEI training at work. And she's like, she's like, I like that stuff, and I get it, but these meetings are really boring and I don't really need them. And I was like, well, they're not for you because you don't need them. You're already open-minded to people that are not like you and accepting of them and tolerant and all that shit. But there are a lot of people out there that really need the shit. And I mean, for the most part, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to have to sit through an hour or two meeting, which I'm sure you're going to get paid for. And someone's going to ask you very nicely to accept the existence and tolerate the existence of some people that might make you uncomfortable.
That seems like it should be being a human 101.
Right.
Just be fucking nice to people and shit. But there's other stuff that they just go way off. Remember years ago at Christmas time at Starbucks, they had a red cup. Okay, it's red.
And they didn't put
Christmas.
Merry Christmas on it.
Oh my God. Like, guys, this doesn't make Starbucks satanic.
For all you know, that could have been the blood of Jesus Christ, that could have been represented. You just had to say that, and then that would have just shut them the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, some of the memes of there were people that were like making their own Starbucks cups and shit, like just leaning into the satanic shit, good internet content generated from that.
I'm still not going to go to Chick-fil-A though, because fuck Chick-fil-A.
I'm not paying that much for a chicken sandwich.
No,
man.
I mean,
fuck.
We just had a new one open up recently, and these fucking cars are backing up the highway.
It's same up here. Same up here.
It's like, good God. I mean, it's not that great. I mean, I made myself my own chicken sandwiches at home, and I'm sure they're like 10 times better than anything they would come up with. I bread them. I put a little cayenne pepper in there, bake them, and I put them on the buns with like some shredded cheese and onions and lettuce. And it's just like, yeah, man.
Here's the secret to the perfect chicken sandwich. Don't overcook the chicken. Make sure you put mayonnaise on it and anything else you like.
Yes.
That's pretty much that's like peak chicken sandwich there. There's really not much else you can do with it.
No, not at all.
I don't know. I think that KFC, when that came out, all of that. Or
well,
no,
I mean,
it's
KFC KFC and Popeyes have that special breading that they do, and they like the 18 herbs and spices and everything.
Oh, it's all that's there's secrets out on all that shit, and it's just like, I think like the most fucking controversial ingredient was fucking cumin. Like they put like a half a teaspoon of cumin in there or some shit like that. It's like everything else, it's just exactly what you'd think it is. It's salt and pepper and little garlic powders and nothing mind blowing in there.
Yeah, cumin's supposed to be good for your colon, by the way.
I love cumin.
My dad calls it cumin. He thinks he's really funny. Like every time he says it, it's like he's never said it before, and he expects people to laugh. They put cumin in my chicken sandwich.
I read a story once about someone who wrecked their grandmother because they, like when you squeeze out like some mustard or ketchup, frequently you get that initial little sploosh of just like mustard water.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Well, apparently, like one day his grandmother was making a sandwich and she did that and she did the little sploosh. She was like, oh gosh, I hate it when that happens. Is there a name for this? Like, what do they call it? And like her grandson, who I think was a teenager, just being a little smart ass fucker was like, oh, that's called pre-cum, grandma.
Oh my God.
And she didn't know what that is.
Oh, man.
Like she'd never heard that phraseology before.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like a week or two later, a similar incident occurred at a church function. And she announced to the ladies at her church, like, oh, God, I hate pre-cum.
I actually liked what you said, at the beginning when you said wrecked your grandmother. I mean, that just came, like a lot of images came right there when you said that.
Oh, no, he didn't, like, kick her ass or anything.
Well, no, I mean, no, I'm not going to go there.
Oh, you went that way.
Oh,
yeah, I went that way. Yes.
Sir, my goodness.
I'll get my coat.
Okay. Well, it's June, so why are you wearing a coat, for fuck's sake?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're still in Illinois. That's right. Okay.
No, it's hot. I mean, compared to what you guys are probably already going through, we're dealing with like 90 degrees and humidity, so it's not even close.
Here. Let's see. Right now it's 87.
It's gonna get worse.
Welcome to summer, kids.
Oh, there's another perk about the new job. It's like all the other guys.
Yeah. You need to catch everyone up there because we weren't recording. Yeah, Chris is now gainfully employed.
Yes, I got a job. I work like just monitoring security monitors all night, which means I'm basically sitting there kind of, one eye on the monitors and the other eye on my laptop watching Bob's Burgers.
So he's the guy in the classic Who episode who, like, the master, like, sneaks up, and kills.
Yeah,
in order to do whatever.
Yeah, I would be a tertiary character that dies in the first 5 minutes of episode 1. Yeah,
golly.
Definitely.
Well, you gotta get a call into your wife first before someone kills you, because that's
complain about eggs or something.
Just boring.
Just to nail home the mundanity of this guy. Yeah.
Every time I have hard-boiled eggs, I think of that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I also think, oh my God, what did you wrap the eggs in? Are they just running around loose in that lunchbox?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a tissue in a lunchbox. That's not gonna. Well, I mean, it's hard boiled, so it's not like it's gonna like break and ooze all over, but still.
But it's still gonna get. It's like when I watch Columbo, and he does this thing where he eats hard boiled eggs every morning, and he'll crack it on what do you call it? A garbage lid. And I'm like, stop it! Don't do that. That's so gross. You are so dirty.
Unsanitary.
Yeah.
It was the 80s, man.
Well, it's more like the 70s, really.
70s. Which was it?
For Columbo, it would be the 70s, and for Doctor
Oh,
Who,
wasn't it?
It would also be the 70s, yeah.
Oh.
I thought Columbo was 80s.
No. Oh, God, no.
And then it went away, and then they brought it back from like 89 until 2003.
Okay.
But not like that
probably
whole time.
thinking of the reboot then.
You actually got a few Columbos viewed. We've got that on Tubi, so I have actually watched a few. I haven't watched any in a while, but it seems to all become it's like an episode of Batman. It's like you've seen the one, you've kind of seen them all. I mean, some of the, I mean,
some would say that about Doctor Who too.
Yeah, you would say that about Doctor Who too.
That's not true with Doctor Who, and you know what? I don't think.
Well,
that's
I
a
would
bad
say that
thing.
lately. I would say that lately. I mean,
Okay.
lately, the last few seasons. I actually was at we were doing some yard selling today. They had some, like, our neighborhood had some yard sales, and there wasn't really much there. But this one woman had like a few like old issues of Doctor Who magazine.
Hmm.
And
Like how old?
like back in like Sylvester McCoy era.
Oh.
Okay.
And one of them was actually the issue that my computer drawings that I did on my Commodore 64, I sent those over and it got published in Doctor
Really?
Who magazine. Yeah, issue 138.
I assume you already have it, so you didn't buy it.
I had 3 copies of it.
Oh.
I would have bought, and I would have bought this one, but someone cut them out.
Well,
Well, like all the
Okay.
magazines, all the magazines that she had there, they were like clippings. They were like stuff missing from them. Like, I guess people like clipped them out and used it for collages or anything.
I
But
think
that-
somebody was a big, huge Doctor Who fan. That's what
Yeah,
I think. You gotta admire that.
No, they were a fucking JB fan, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like, wow, someone actually liked my Commodore 64 drawings enough to, clip them off of a magazine. I felt very humbled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not even mad about this.
This is a bunny trail, but I just have to mention when I said it's not necessarily a bad thing that something is the same. You've seen one episode, you've seen them all. That just means it's formulaic. And I can say this honestly because I've been watching the fucking epitome of formulaic, and I can't get enough of this on YouTube. Kitchen Nightmares. That is the same thing every single time. Okay, he's going to order 4 dishes. He's going to hate them all. He's going to yell at the chef. The chef's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And then they're going to turn it around, and then he's going to leave. And what they don't say is that they're just going to close in 6 months anyway.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's a place for the formulaic shit, though. It's comfort food.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that. It's like for people, who, with anxiety, like the 3 of us.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. That's why I watch the same show over and over until I can quote you the fucking script.
Yeah, because it's like there's no surprises. We're not have to be stressed out over, what might happen, or whatever. It's comfort food.
Comfort
Definitely.
food. I just want to feel warm and comfortable and entertained. So I'm going to watch this shit where I know exactly what's going to happen.
And I mean, we were talking about like getting sleep or not getting sleep, as the case may be. And I mean, that's what I do a lot of times. Like I'll put on something and like I'll drift off to sleep, and then like I'll get startled awake because the end credits are rolling. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I should go to bed now. But it sort of lulls me into a state of relaxation to where I can actually fall the fuck to sleep.
I do it where I'll put it on while I'm working from home or even from the office sometimes. But I do that with Doctor Who, James Bond. It has to be something that I have to know it. It can't be something that I've only seen once in 2006.
Apparently it has to be British too. So
you're right.
Not going to wake you up because you're not going to hear something and suddenly it's going to click your interest and you're going to be like, wait, what's happening? I do it with my favorite one to fall asleep to is Futurama, because I've seen all the episodes and it's totally like my comfort food binge. And that fucking theme song, that do 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 do, the bells that go off at the beginning. So like if I have this on, about every 30 minutes that intro theme is going to hit and it kind of snaps me back to reality for a second. And then if I realize like, oh fuck, I was asleep, then it's click off the TV time and
Right.
So it's beautiful for that. It's like they designed it for me.
There you go. Well, I guess we should probably start talking about Doctor Who now, since we are a Doctor Who podcast. I feel like sometimes in name only here. Okay, so
but today it's apt because there's literally there's nothing going on in the world of Doctor Who.
Not really. I mean, there's like a few things that have happened because we actually didn't record at all. And we recorded late April, and then like a lot of shit happened to us personally, so we just like completely skipped the month of May. So there's a few things that kind of happened. I mean, nothing momentous, but I guess this is sort of a momentous if you're into that sort of thing. Murray Gold is returning to do music for Doctor Who.
Okay.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think all sins of Murray Gold were more a product of Moffat than Murray Gold.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I think it's the way that the mixer mixed because sometimes his soundtrack could get a little bit out of hand, and when really all they needed to do was soften it up a little bit, but just literally the volume. And this is a point that's been made fun of, like on BBC skit shows. I remember. Don't ask me the name of it, but it's the same one where the guy would go out in public. He looked and sounded kind of like Tom Baker. But he would go out.
Dead Ringers.
Dead Ringers, yes. Is that what they do in that show? They just dress people up like famous people and have them go out and pretend that they're that famous person?
Yeah, I think that's sometimes. I remember there's a Dead Ringers Christmas special where it was that guy who does Tom Baker. He also does David Tennant. And it was basically he was having a Christmas party with himself. It was Tennant. It was Tom Baker. It was Patrick Troughton. It was Sylvester McCoy and Christopher Eccleston. Like Sylvester McCoy was like chasing Patrick Troughton around with a piece of tinfoil, scaring him.
Ooh, I'm a Dalek. Look at me. I'm a Dalek. Yes, I remember this. Probably when it was first put on YouTube, but it was so long ago.
Yeah, and they're like sitting around the TV. They're watching the Queen's speech or whatever, and they're going, "Alien." And there's another one where, like, I think Tom Baker was like taking the Cybermen to the pub and getting drunk, and they were doing karaoke.
And then a dog.
I think that Tom actually Baker. Happened.
Somebody posted a picture of my friend Steve and I. We were talking about him, and it's like, oh my God, he's totally on the 2023 death clock. I'm sorry to say, he does not look good.
He's 89.
Wait, who's this? Who are we talking about?
Tom Baker.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not going here, guys. We're not going
John,
here.
you know that Chris gets really sensitive when we...
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll keep the Doctor Who death talk to a minimum.
Yeah. I am not ready for him to regenerate into Peter Davison. I'm not. I am not yet mentally prepared for that.
Dude, it's been, 40 years since that
Shush
happened?
It. No, that's my theory when, not that this is ever going to happen, but when Tom Baker dies, I'm just worried that he's going to turn into Peter Davison and we're going to fucking have two of him now.
There's nothing wrong with Peter Davison.
No, there's not. I love Peter Davison. My daughter stuck her finger in his nose. He's a great man.
I would imagine that two Peter Davisons would be kind of a personal help to David Tennant.
Yeah. Two father-in-laws. No, thank you.
One of them being in his late 20s.
I think it would be worse for Georgia, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that would. Like, Dad, stop embarrassing me. I'm sorry, wrong accent. Dad, stop embarrassing me.
Okay.
I've don't ever do that. Husband for that.
Do you ever think that Georgia Tennant, when she was young, like she was embarrassed by Doctor Who? And now that she's older, like she's got to just re-embrace the whole thing all over again.
Well, I mean, she's the daughter of a doctor and married a doctor. I mean,
yeah, I know.
She is literally balls deep in this.
Yeah, like this is it. There's no turning back.
Or the balls are deep in her. More like.
Oh, golly.
We don't have to get technical. goddammit.
Well, that's one couple.
Well, we don't want to give anyone the wrong impression that, she might be transsexual or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Because that's woke.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah, she's not like Bob Dole doing Viagra commercials. Like, that's the last thing I need to think of. Bob Dole fucking.
Bob Dole has a boner. Bothell likes Viagra.
Yeah, he got it up at the George H.W. Bush's funeral. Did you see that?
What?
I don't know why I remember that. But he was
like
really.
He had a heart on?
It's a joke. He literally got out of his wheelchair and.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he was standing there with his dick hard or something. That's like,
yeah, that happened, Chris. That happened.
Dude, I guarantee when Trump dies, there's going to be people doing that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I'm making a pilgrimage to go piss on his grave.
There's no fucking way they're going to make that a public burial spot. There's no fucking way.
They'll have fucking gun nests on it and shit.
Yeah, it'll be like Jimmy Savile's grave.
Yeah.
Just came out. Ooh.
Me and my cat people group have been talking ever since the blessed event happened about going to St. Louis and pissing on Rush Limbaugh's grave.
Is he buried in St. Louis?
He's buried in St. Louis, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have the address if you'd like to take a piss.
Oh man, I got local friends there, so yeah, shoot me.
Dude, we should make this like we could do an episode about this, like we all make a pilgrimage to piss on Rush Limbaugh's grave.
Just don't look when I'm doing it. My dick gets stage fright.
No. I mean, yeah, we're not going to be out there waving our dicks.
No, we're not going to be filming it for YouTube, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, you can film me, but do it from behind, because as we already discussed, I don't have anything to be proud of, really.
Back in the day, I remember
like the end of Blair Witch Project. You're just standing in the corner.
There we go. We filmed the whole thing as found footage. This Doctor Who obsessed Antifa gang was discovered pissing on graves. I don't know.
I remember back in the day.
I actually get some press for that.
When I would drive to San Antonio to and from for school, and I never really dug listening to music on the radio, so I'd listen to talk show, and for one trip I'd listen to Air America. Remember them? Al Franken and no.
No.
Back in the day, there was a radio station, a syndicated radio station called Air America, and they were about as left-leaning as Fox News is right. Okay. Oh. And Al Franken had a show on Air America. It went on like all afternoon. Okay. And then on the way back, I would listen to, I'm like, okay, well, I got to be, let's, listen to a conservative radio host. So I'd listen to Rush Limbaugh. It took maybe like 10 minutes that I was like, no, this is a vile, evil man.
Yeah.
I hate him. So I listened to Sean Hannity instead. And you got to support all the Seans, especially if they're a Sean H like me. I mean, there's only a club of like,
oh yeah,
3 of us. So
who's the third?
Sean Hayes from Will and Grace.
Oh, okay. Was he the gay one?
It's Will and Grace. You got to be more specific.
Oh, so
no. One of the guys was actually straight. I forget which one.
Eric McCormick, who played Will, was straight or is straight. He was in a show now. If you're wondering if you got the Shudder or the AMC over there, he's on a show called Slasher, which is set like in Jack the Ripper, Victorian times, and he plays an asshole.
So typecasting there.
Well, he wasn't an asshole on the show. I mean, I don't know.
I never watched Will.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of like people who might be gay in casting, there's this casting news here, which I mean, whatever. Jonathan Groff, who I've never heard of before, but apparently he's been in Glee and he's been in Hamilton, so he must be gay.
All right, let me see.
Well, he
played his last name?
Groff.
Okay.
A bit presumptive, but probably accurate.
Okay. Yeah, Sean's going to look at the photo and see if his gaydar goes off.
My gaydar is not going off.
Okay. But anyway, this guy's going to have a key role in the next series. And he was recently featured in a picture with both Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, and they were all in period costume. Looks like around the time of Hamilton. Did you guys get I think I might have showed you that.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you showed me or not, but I have.
I think I forwarded that photo to the both of you.
Oh, then I.
Yeah, check your text.
Okay.
Your I'm sorry, your Facebook Messenger.
I gotta say from
yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
the leaked. Okay, I'm disappointed in the new Doctor's baseline costume, I guess you'd call it. Just the I'm dressing like your granddad thing, which Matt Smith's already kind of fucking done.
They all kind of fucking done.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
he leaned into it. But man, all this shit for the costuming and stuff that I've seen that's been published or leaked,
yeah,
pretty fucking impressive. Like there was the picture of Shooty and Ruby Tuesday, and Shooty's got the fro rocking, and they're wearing like the fucking jazz suit shit. And then the one you're talking about, and it's like, man, for real, they're putting some fucking effort into this. I appreciate that.
I'm actually looking forward to watching this new series now. I mean, everything I've seen so far, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm actually interested.
Yeah. It's, I mean, maybe it's going to be terrible. Maybe it's going to be fucking brilliant, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. And it's been a minute.
It really has. But first we got to go through these specials with David Tennant, and they had recently put out the titles for the 3 specials. And one of them is the Star Beast, which is basically, we're going to have a retelling of this comic book adventure. And then the second one is called A Wild Blue Yonder. And then the third and final special is called The Giggle.
Ooh. Maybe that's, which one is it going to, I always forget this kid's name. He's not a kid either. I always call him Philip Seymour Hoffman, but it's not.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. Is he in the one called The Giggle? Because he does look like a clown, sort of like one of those guys from The Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
The general consensus is that he is playing the toy maker.
Nobody's really confirmed that.
No. That's the rumor, but it seems to have a lot of traction. Like I'm kind of banking on that as this. I think there's some solid shit behind that rumor. I think that's probably accurate.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm going out on a limb here, but I think he's the toy maker.
Unless this is like a complete bait and switch, then I would have to agree with you.
And I guess I'm trying to remember how they got here, but I believe it's pretty much considered common knowledge that the new Rose is actually the daughter of Donna Noble, who was named after the original Rose.
Yeah, and she's basically taking on the role of the comic book character Sharon, who was a black girl who was featured in the Star Beast comic story and went on to be a comic book companion for a few issues.
I really like the idea of going back and remaking some of the popular books or comic books, which has only happened once that I know of. And that was the Paul Cornell episode. Yeah. I like this idea. And I never really look at the comics unless they're in Doctor Who magazine. I don't actively seek them out. I don't know. I just, not my thing or whatever. But if he's a villain, I like that. Yeah. He's not like, the cutesy little guy that comes along and...
No, but he's initially passed off as like this harmless little fucking victim that needs to be saved, and he ends up being the villain.
Okay. I'll allow it.
David Tennant, I did say something that David Tennant mentioned something about that. There's a lot more about these specials that we don't know about, and that he's actually got to work with some other actors that he's worked with in the past. I think we're going to see a lot of people. They probably shot all of these in like a studio, so that in a closed set.
You know what though? I'm taking this shit of the secrecy as a fucking good sign. Because we're used to the last few years, months ahead of a new episode, they're fucking dropping this person's playing and they're this character, and they practically tell you what the story's going to be and all this shit. And it's because like the fucking guest stars and all that shit is pretty much all this episode's got going for it. Let's be fucking honest.
Yeah.
But now they're holding it close to their chest because that's not the fucking selling point. The whole point of the episode isn't we got this fucking actor or we got, this fucking director or whatever. It's like, no, we've got a good fucking story. And hey, bonus, this cool fucking person's involved, you know?
Right. Yeah. There's also another casting that was done recently, that was announced recently. Indria, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Indira, Indira, Indira.
I think it's Indira.
Indira Varma, who played Susie in Torchwood. They keep killing Susie. And she was actually also recently on Obi-Wan Kenobi. She was in a few episodes of that. She's going to be playing this villain, this mysterious new villain called the Duchess in the upcoming series with Ncuti Gatwa.
I'm going to look her up. I don't remember which one she is from Torchwood. I've always...
She's the one who gets killed off in the first episode, and then there's the episode where like they keep killing Susie because they have like the resurrection glove, and like I think when Cooper has to like, you know, kill her again.
She's not the lady. I was thinking of what's her name? Speaking of absolutely fabulous, trying to look for her on here. Oh, they don't have her because they have the Asian girl.
Right. I cannot remember her name.
Titicaca from Absolutely Fabulous. Not her real name, but that's what Edwina would call her.
Yeah.
Hello, fellow time travelers, and welcome to the Doctor Who Target Book Club podcast, the only podcast to discuss, in story order, all the Doctor Who novelizations. My name is Tony Whitt, and every 2 weeks or so, I'm joined by a 2 to 3 person discussion panel, including our so-called expert who's been a Who fan since 1979. That would be me. We also get the views of intermediate, casual, and novice fans who either have never seen the show or who have never read these books until these podcasts, including
Dalton Hughes
and
Alison Fitz-Seyfried.
You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you find good podcasts, or even ones like ours. You're listening to the Doctor Who Gives a Fuck podcast. Enjoy your travels.
So, I'm on YouTube all the time, just basically looking for stuff to watch, you know, nothing too long because I have short attention spans, you know, because, you know, I don't know, figured I'm Gen X, I shouldn't, but, you know, there you are. But I ran into this short film and it's like, okay, I'll give this a look. And it's a Doctor Who short film called Compliance. And I watched this thinking, okay, I'll check this out, whatever. You know, it's going to probably be really silly. But I watched this and I'm like, holy fucking shit.
It got deep.
Yeah. So I think we're actually going to this is kind of going to be a weird sort of, we're going to like spool it up. And I think we're going to hit play and we're just going to talk over this thing as we watch it here and just kind of sort of, I analyze it and just sort of, you know, because there's a lot of stuff here. So if you go on YouTube, it's called Compliance, a Doctor Who short film. It was made by the guy who posted it is a 3D Doctor Who.
It is not 3D, however.
It's not 3D, but I mean, I don't know how he made it because it's all Daleks. And I don't know if it's CGI or if it's models or what, but I mean, the effects, I mean, it's basically, it's all Daleks. There's no dialogue at all. So we're going to spool it up. Do you guys have it ready on your end?
I do. I'm ready.
Give me just half a second.
Okay.
I'm on the YouTubes for it.
I'm going to mute it because, as you said, no dialogue.
Yeah, I've got it on.
Cat, get down. God damn it, Blue. Sorry.
Blue, you little fucker. No.
Yeah, no, he does this thing where he jumps on the little mini desk I have. Either he's hungry or he thinks I'm talking to him. I don't know. Okay.
All so right. We're gonna so actually, if you want to spool it up, if you want to watch it first and then go back to it and then watch it with our commentary here, we're gonna hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 3D Doctor Who presents.
Now, this channel has a number of short films on it, I think.
Yeah, it does. But so we're not quite sure what we're looking at here. It looks like some kind of auditorium or whatever. There's a loud hum.
Obviously trying to kind of a 1984 kind of vibe to it.
We have two Daleks standing around like a very 60s looking table.
Yeah. First of all, they're the old, like, original Daleks from
the these are like Hartnell
old
era
school Daleks.
Yeah. And this is weird. It's like, why are they standing around a tree? What does that symbolize?
They don't understand life.
And I mean, we have the sound muted here. I've got it on headphones, but we got this like music, this sort of piano soft music. So they're all like going to work, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought as well.
We've got blue Daleks going to the right. We have red Daleks going to the left, which saying this now makes zero sense because it should be the other way around.
Well, it looks like shift change.
And now it's like the score's gone really jazzy now.
And wait a second. Wait for it. Oh, empty terminal.
All right. So somebody was not compliant. And this concerns this Dalek because he's like, wait, nobody's even noticing that this guy's away from his workstation?
Is that it? Or is he looking for his friend?
That's what I was thinking, too. It's like, hey, where's my buddy? You know, where's my work buddy, man?
This is probably the closest thing he has to a friend. I mean, he's a fucking Dalek.
Yeah. Okay, so there he goes.
So far, so good.
Yeah, he's looking around. So this is kind of like, I mean, we're basically like, we're like mindless drones going to work.
Yeah. Well, and this is just it. You don't really think about anything until something different happens. And now it's like, well, what do I fucking do?
Yeah.
It's almost like, I can't remember the movie, Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, definite Logan's Run vibe.
And now he's like,
Green.
oh, fuck, there's all these red Daleks here.
Yeah.
And they're all looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're supposed to be at your station, dude.
And the way this was shot, I'm pretty sure they're models, but I can't say for sure because it's not total stop motion.
Oh, no. This
you don't think
all
so?
No, this is all CGI. This is all CGI.
Well, it's pretty damn good because it looks like
it is
shot on
film.
It
looks photorealistic.
Very fucking high quality.
So we're going down there, and there's like, and then you notice like, oh, there's a gap here. There's a bit of the wall here, but a bit of the wall here is broken.
The question, because I did not notice it. I only watched this once before this.
Yeah.
Did you know the initial shot shows that little gap in the wall? Did you notice it?
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, I the second time I noticed it.
I was really focused on the symbols in the background, and I did not notice the gap.
Yeah. So he sees that this Dalek is basically plummeted to his death.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going all like Stanley Kubrick now with the...
No, he's processing. It's like, I don't know what to fucking make of this.
Why did my buddy... Like my buddy offed himself.
Maybe I'll put a picture of it in my home.
So he's back at work, and then he's like kind of zoning out, spacing out. And then...
As you do.
Yep.
He's in this...
This is definitely my grieving process. I just kind of zone out for a minute.
Yeah. And
this I don't get. I don't. What's that image?
It's the outline of the dead Dalek's like blood on the
floor.
Yeah, okay, I really thought it was blood.
Well, yeah, definite blood vibe there. But I'm like, what is this? What is this image? Why is it that shape?
And then he looks down. It's like, holy shit! What the fuck am I watching here? Dalek this bowel inspection or something.
Purists are going to scream about the Dalek having red blood, but...
Well, I mean, it's a mutant inside, so that's a fucking ton of blood. So now we're kind of in... I mean, this is all... I think this is all... From the moment he found the gap and he found his buddy dead, I think this is all been...
In his head.
In his head. And now we get a bit of Dalek choreography here. It's like, there's my friend. Why don't they let me go to my friend?
I don't know about this part. It's a little like 1930s women swimming in the pool and doing that calligraphy that they did back then.
I think it's meant to be, though. I think that's quite intentional.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's silly. This film has become silly.
And it's like, no, I'm going to break away here. I will no longer be compliant.
Mm-hmm. What was that? Oh, there's the flash. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back here, over here, and I'm gonna. Oh wait, that's.
And I'm like, this is where I get a little fucked up. Okay, that was presumably his friend.
Yeah.
And this is him. Or is the main character the one that's watching? Or is he a new entity that's like representing this is going in a chain? This fucking non-conformity is spreading.
That's
probably what it is.
I think it's both. I think it's both. I mean, he saw his buddy. He found his buddy dead, and then he imagined him dying. And then he's like, you know what? My life is meaningless.
That was fucking deep.
It was fucking deep, and it really haunted me for like a good couple hours after watching it.
Yeah, I was, and for those listening, you gotta know, JB sent this to us with like no preamble or warning as to what we're getting into. And personally, I was kind of expecting something funny, which actually kind of made it better because I was not expecting, okay, it's a Dalek thing. It's either going to be like some purist nonsense or something funny. I was not expecting like an emotive silent film that was actually it was successfully compelling. Emotive based. Yeah, it was compelling. I'm like watching this like, what the fuck is happening next? That was really good. I like this. And I love the fact no fucking dialogue. You know, nobody's screaming exterminate or any of the fucking cliches.
What is happening? Explain.
Yeah, my eyesight is impaired. Fucking none of that shit. None of the fucking no fan wink, no nods. And but it was still a very fucking emotive story. And I'm just really impressed with whoever came up with this.
I think that this is something, if they had a Doctor Who short film festival, which I think they have in the past, this is something that would win an award.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the other little things that are on.
It deserves it.
This person's, it's just very thoughtful, and, you know, that takes a creature who is, I'm sorry, they're boring. Daleks are boring. Doctor Who is oversaturated with Daleks.
Yeah.
And when I saw the link to the video, I thought, it's got Daleks in it. But no, it's okay. I get this. All right, that's pretty cool. Because on the other hand, when you think about it, Daleks are the most maybe Cybermen, but Daleks are the most compliant villains ever. Try to think of another villain that's compliant like that. You know, I think that. There's probably something in Star Trek, maybe the Borg. I don't know. But yeah.
But it really makes you think about your own life. And like we go to work and we come home, lather, rinse, repeat. And we're kind of like we're compliant to capitalism. You know, we basically have to work in order to, afford things like home and food and you know, if we're lucky enough, we can do some things on the weekend.
Yeah, it's the grind.
It is the grind. And for a lot of people, they reach a breaking point. It's like, this is all there is. And they can't find, there's no escape from it. And I mean, the only escape is, suicide. Content warring. Yeah, suicide.
When was this made? I'm sorry.
It was a few weeks. I think this was like a couple weeks ago. So this is like
this is really new. Okay.
This is really new. I mean, the guy made it like a 1960s art film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He got the tone of it perfect. Pitch perfect.
Yeah. This has got Kafka vibes for sure.
Wondering, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of like standard like Kubrick in here, with some of the shots and the tracking, and I was expecting like the two little girls at the end of the corridor. I mean, even the carpet. I mean, even the carpeting. I mean, it looks like carpeting that this. You see the Dalek smashed on the bottom there, and the
minimalist architecture.
Yeah. I really got like a lot of Shining vibes from this. It was really unnerving.
Yeah.
And it was probably the most effective use of Daleks in the last 10, 15 years at least.
It's easily the first thing I've seen in I don't even know how long that was Dalek centric and was legitimately thought provoking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He took a really, I mean, let's face it, we're all Doctor Who and we love Doctor Who, and yet I think all three of us can still agree Daleks are really fucking overplayed and tropified.
Oh, yeah.
And he took that and made something very emotive and relevant and artistic even with it. And I'm fucking really blown away with it. Quite honestly, it's like fucking, this is good. I mean, it is hard to take something that fucking played out and make something that actually is thought-provoking and emotive.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I always loved the Dalek design. I think the Dalek design is a genius. I think because there's nothing else like that in science fiction television. And I mean, you can't. I mean, yeah, maybe the astromech droids in Star Wars, but it's not really the same though. But it's just the uniqueness of the design, and just I love the way that in the Hartnell episodes, instead of like waving around their eye stalks whenever they talk and like they wiggle around a lot, they just like don't even move, and that eye just staring at you.
Mm-hmm. Just
and
a
they say
little twitch
nothing.
of the eye stalk is enough
and
to convey meaning.
I mean, they can like fucking kill you at any moment here. I mean, you're walking on a razor's edge, and just the way that the red Daleks were all staring at this blue Dalek as he was like going through the break room, and it's almost like, oh my god, oh shit, I'm in their territory.
I'm in the wrong spot.
I
should not be here.
Yeah. I mean, even amongst the Daleks, there's like, there are factions. They're supposed to be like the conquerors of the universe, and they're kind of infighting amongst themselves here.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I really appreciate about Daleks too is they're completely alien. It's a little squibby thing in a box, and they want to kill everything in the universe. And they're on one hand portrayed as the most unhuman thing possible. And in fact, they hate humans. They want to exterminate us and all this shit. But at the same time, their demeanor is so fucking human in a bad way, in a really fucking bad way. It's like we all know people that are basically Daleks. We fear we fear the strange. We fear things that make us uncomfortable. Things
we fear the woke.
The woke, or the things that are unpure and all this shit. And it's like, on one hand, these things are so fucking alien to us, so obviously not human. And then on this other hand, it's like this alien thing is actually very fucking human. Mm-hmm. Sadly, fucking human. It's like it's kind, the double mirror kind of thing. This plays on this video fucking riffs on that,
I think this film has ruined me for Daleks now, because they're never going to do anything that interesting with the Daleks on the actual show.
No, I think they've tried though and failed fucking miserably, but yeah, they're never going to get there.
We had Dalek. We had the Christopher Eccleston episode Dalek.
Probably as close as Doctor Who's ever going to get to achieving this.
Right. Yes. And I don't think they're ever going to do that again.
No, that's not. They wouldn't make that episode today.
No.
You're not going to include I Am a Human Dalek in that as well?
Oh, God, no.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I don't
fucking,
remember
the Daleks in Manhattan.
Jesus.
The pig people and the Dalek human. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
No, it was terrible.
It was
terrible.
Bad. It was pretty bad. Yeah. I do have one more thing, which is really kind of silly and stupid in comparison to like the last thing we talked about here. But I'm going to forward you guys a photo here. Go on the chat.
This isn't some lemon party bullshit.
No,
like
it's
last
not.
time
No,
you did this, is it?
no,
Okay.
it's not going to be. Yeah, no, it's not going to be anything like that. Yeah.
Look it up. Google it.
I still haven't
Google
gotten around to that. No. Okay, so this was actually posted. I'm going to send you here. This was posted. This is actually a still from a video that was posted on Instagram that shook the Doctor Who world today. And I just sent it over.
Okay. All right. I recognize him.
So that's Sacha Dhawan, right?
Yes.
I don't know who the woman is.
Michelle Gomez.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
okay.
Yes.
That's nice. Where were they? This looks like it's in an airport. Like
This is
to the
here.
terminal.
There's actually a whole fucking article about it here, which I will read to you now.
God, I want that job. Is what I want.
Yeah. Doctor Who fans have had their imaginations set all alight by a shared Instagram post from Sacha Dhawan and Michelle Gomez, where the master actors can be seen strutting down a flight of stairs together. And yeah, the video is really silly because it's in slow motion and they have fucking dubstep music on there. The reason for their meeting was not given, but fans were thrilled to see them together, with each known for their popular incarnations of the Doctor's classic arch nemesis. Blah blah blah.
Worth noting they killed each other too.
Well.
Oh no! Wait, no. That was
John
Sims. Yes. It is unclear at this stage whether Dhawan or Gomez could return to the franchise under returning showrunner Russell T Davies. Although the former has said he would love to face off against Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor. An Instagram post, which you can watch on their pages, saw the two actors embracing their villainous personas as they strutted down a flight of stairs in slow motion, sending fans into meltdown as they theorized on the possibility of a crossover. Oh. Among them was former Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat, who left a comment on Dhawan's post that read, "Put them on screen, Russell." Gomez described them as best frenemies, while Dhawan reignited the long-held debate around who came first in the Doctor Who canon, captioning his video with "chicken or egg, Missy or Master."
I hate social media so much.
Right.
No, it's like they just ran into each other, and you're like, "Oh well, let's take a photo together." Okay, it's Sean Connery and Roger Moore ran into each other at a cocktail party.
No, I feel like this was they bumped into each other and control the fans.
and then everybody, all the other fangirls and fanboys are like, "Oh my God, they're gonna be in it together. They're gonna be in it together." And you know what? This is gonna sound horribly sexist, but that's mostly fangirls. I could just see like, the Verity podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be squealing about it tomorrow on Radio Free Skaro. Did you notice that? Like, I go into the Doctor Who podcast network and I go scroll down there. For some fucking reason, I don't know why, but for some fucking reason, it's probably Steven Shapansky. Like the last 7 or 8 Radio Free Skaro episode titles are basically like songs from the album Let It Be.
Okay, yeah, that's Shapansky. Yeah, that's definitely Shapansky.
And I can't be arsed to listen to any of these to figure out why the fuck is he naming these episodes after Beatles songs?
Because there's nothing else to name them, because there's nothing going on to vindicate a weekly Doctor Who podcast.
If you're going to do it, be fucking clever about it, because when you were on Who 37 with me when we did Sleep No More.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually did after 2/3 of the episode was that, and then the last third of the episode was me doing a review of Face the Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put that episode out, I titled it I'm So Tired / Blackbird, which are two songs that, you know, but that was fucking clever because at least those titles tied into what we were fucking talking about. What the fuck is going on with Radio Free Skaro? Someone please, if you listen to Radio Free Skaro, let me know because I don't have the time
to look at this now. I'm gonna look at the podcast.
Go in there.
Oh, they have a nice new logo. It's probably not been that new.
They've done it like the Dynamo logo now because they must conform.
A beloved tunesmith is back as Murray Gold return. Yeah, Dig a Pony. Is that?
That's a Beatles song. They're all songs from Let It Be, and they're doing it in the order of the original Let It Be album. So that the one that was produced by Phil Spector, the one that has the very syrupy strings and the choral arrangement for The Long and Winding Road, which pissed the fuck out of Paul McCartney. He wrote a letter to Alan Klein, who was then managing the Beatles. And it's like, don't fucking ever do that to me again.
They put so much fucking effort into.
I mean, that's got to drive you nuts. I mean, when there's nothing going on in Doctor Who, why do you continually put on a weekly podcast? That's just insanity.
To be fair, like their last episode from 6 days ago is Indira Varma as the Mysterious Duchess. Here's something I didn't know. Fraser Hines writing an Evil of the Daleks novelization, because we need more novelizations and more audios of those novelizations too. A Contraband 1997 Doctor Who annual. Okay.
Why the fuck was it Contraband?
Doctor Who and Top Gear going into the metaverse for some reason. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And this is the one I don't want to hear about. The revised return of the Wife in Space.
Yeah, that ship has sailed for me.
On Mostly Harmless Cutaway does a thing like we do where they've got a DM for messages. And I saw that they had posted about the Wife in Space. I've read maybe 3 pages of that thing. Totally over it. It's like, oh, aren't we cute? We're making this thing. And isn't it cute? She doesn't know anything about Doctor Who, but we're going to make her watch it. And, you know, everything that we say is cute. Isn't it adorable? And every single podcast was coming in their pants over this shit.
I thought it was amusing. And I did buy like all the books. And then it's like, you know what? What am I going to do with all these books? And I actually think I put them in the free library.
There's you know, some of these, like the About Time books, I don't think get enough credit. I think those are brilliant.
Okay.
But then there's like Running Through Quarters, and I read all this shit about how they made it and listened to like them basically brag. But when I sent this to the Mostly Harmless Cutaway DM, I didn't realize that Chris Burgess was in it.
Oh God.
And I said, you know, it was a screenshot of the Radio Free Skaro post, and I said, isn't this cute? Isn't it great? Everybody likes it. That means we have to like it too.
Oh,
that's what I said. And Chris actually said, yeah, sometimes Neil, he was very gentlemanly. He said, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Neil Perryman says. And yeah, I
have to wonder that like Chris Burgess, he's got to be just sitting there sometimes thinking to himself, why the fuck do I mean, I think he probably can. I mean, I think the three of us contribute equally. I mean, sometimes you'll go off on a tangent. You'll be talking about Absolutely Fabulous, and I'll just tune the fuck out. But I think the three of us actually contribute equally to this podcast. I can't say the same thing for Radio Free Skaro because basically Shapansky dominates it, and Warren Fry, I think it's like him and Warren, and then Chris is off in the corner somewhere, and sometimes he'll say something lewd and it'll piss off the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, it sounds like Chris was, I mean, you've hung out with all these guys, and it seems to me that Chris Burgess would be like the fun one to hang out with, and he probably thinks that a lot of the stuff that they did was really fucking stupid, but you know, he's going to go along with it because he's on the #1 Doctor Who podcast of all time.
Yeah. Warren is actually kind of fun to hang out with too, but he's just so negative on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, are you sure you like Doctor Who? Are you positive? Because I'm not quite.
I don't think you like the show.
Yeah.
I think it's also he doesn't like the fans. I think he really, you know.
Yes.
He can't be bothered with the fans. I mean, I can't be bothered with the fans either, but it's like I'm not going to rag on them all the time.
And I say that, being ironic because it's not exactly that we're sitting here being positive about the show either. And then Steven is just like he's swallowing Doctor Who hook, line, and sinker, unless it's Big Finish for some reason.
Well,
he doesn't have.
He always feels like he's just trying to keep the sponsors happy.
And you know what I really miss? I miss James and Trevor from the Doctor Who podcast. You are most welcome.
Yep.
I've never listened to that.
They're no longer around because they've changed hosts so many times. I think it still exists, but those guys aren't doing it. But I felt like they would give very fair opinions. Like they'll talk about the extras on some of the some DVD, and they'll be like, I found this extra cringeworthy because they're showing this guy with his, laboratory setting up a Cyberman like a typical, gross Doctor Who fan, And I enjoyed their banter, and, they made a lot of sense. They weren't drunk. Not that there's anything wrong with Doctor Who drunk podcast.
Thank God.
Yeah. Butter, dude.
And, I'm done with them all.
I mean, I enjoy listening to you, Sean, on the Mostly Harmless Cutaway. That's always I always look forward to whenever you're on. I mean, the other guys are good too.
TARDIS Tavern.
Oh, yeah. You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
No, I really like that podcast.
I do too. I'm really upset. Sure. I'm really upset that we can't just go on there and listen and download an episode now because they're all no longer on the web.
Yeah, they were all on Steve's hard drive and Caleb's hard drive. He collected them and put them. I'm like, Caleb, that's really great. Anyways, but we were just done.
Caleb, if you're listening, please upload those. Put them on a site. Send me the link.
Unclench Caleb. Come on, man.
Come on.
Hook a brother up.
Do a GoFundMe. Raise up enough money so you can buy storage space and just have them there. Put them on a feed. Point me to the direction, and then I'll, because I do have a handful of TARDIS Tavern episodes downloaded on my hard drive. Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to the first 30 minutes of Cabot Cove Confest, and then when you guys start talking about the episode, I tune out.
Do you know how many times we've only had one complaint about that? And Steve's like, well, we're gonna have to change it now. I'm like, no, fuck this person. Everybody seems to enjoy our pre-show banter. Stop it.
Yes. I think the last one you went on for 45 minutes before you actually started talking about the episode.
Oh, yeah. Steve, don't worry about it. It's not my favorite show, but I just it's almost like therapy,
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is what I think we're doing here right now. I mean, we're all talking. I mean, pre-show, God, oh my God. Thank God we didn't record the fucking pre-show because it's just my dad died. It's April 25th, just after we recorded the last episode, and that was fun. And then Chris had a death in his, not his immediate family, but it was family adjacent. And
my aunt-in-law.
Your aunt-in-law, and Sean's boss actually got impeached.
Yeah,
we had a fun-filled month, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the pre-show would probably not be entertaining.
You'd probably be like the Dalek, just okay, I'm going to find the gap there on the ledge here and just fucking just drop and just end it all.
You have been listening to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. You can stream or subscribe to this human filth on Apple Podcasts or wherever the fuck you listen to your favorite podcasts. And for fuck's sake, leave a fucking review on Apple fucking Podcast. Don't be a cuck. Tell us why we suck. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter until some maniacal multi-millionaire buys those companies in their quest for world domination. And then you're all fucked. Doctor Who and all related characters and situations are trademarks of the BBC, and no infringement is intended.
Oh shit! Hey babe, there's a palmetto bug on the floor here. Do you want to kill it?
What the fuck is a palmetto bug?
A palmetto bug. They're these big. They look they're not really roaches, but they're brown. They're pretty big, and the cats like to eat them. It's right there.
Well, don't yell at your wife. Then get the fucking cat.
Well, I'm podcasting here. No, we don't want the cats to eat them.
Our cats wouldn't do anything. We had a lizard in the house one time, and I don't mean one of them chameleons. I mean like.
Oh yeah, we have lizards. No, yeah. We've had. Lizards.
We brought the cats out, and we're like, "Here, look, a lizard." They didn't do shit. It's like, what the fuck are you good for?
Oh no. Well, I mean, your cats are kind of old. I mean, our cats are going to be turning 5 in a couple of weeks, so they're still kind of.
My one cat is 5.
Okay, well maybe
the old cats are dead. The other ones are like 7.
Okay, well maybe if they turn 5, they'll stop having the urge to chase, palmetto bugs and lizards. Then
next, you'll be asking me how much they weigh.
I don't care about that.
Direction point. A Doctor Who podcast network.